I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Bow our heads for a quick prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we'd like to thank you for the gift of moisture, and also like to thank you for the not getting all those terrible tornadoes that went through North Dakota yesterday, and pray for the communities that did result in damage from those. Lord, we also like to pray that you put a blessing on us tonight as commissioners as we make the best choices for the city of Hazen. In your name we pray. Amen. All right, reading and approval of the minutes from September 2nd.
Motion to approve and suspend reading.
Motion by Weidrich.
Second.
Second by Stern. Discussion. All in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Approval of the agenda. Monty, is there any other additions, subtractions?
No, my addition is on there as 8B.
8B. Okay. Entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So.
Motion by Folkerts.
Second.
Second by Stern. Discussion. All those signal by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Agenda is set. 5A, Grant, you're up.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Should have a pretty quick update here today. Sanitary sewer improvement project. They're done with spot repairs. They're done with 99.9% of the lining. The one item they're waiting on is those transition liners. You guys had a few pipes for transition sizes in between the manhole. So on change order 2, you guys approved a couple different CIPP transition liners. Those will make that a smooth transition between those two sizes. They're ordered and we're just waiting on shipment, so they're just waiting to install those pieces. Manhole rehab has split a little bit. Currently they're planning to start on September 15th, that week, and then they'll rehabilitate all the manholes in the project. Concrete repairs on that, they started doing a few of those, so Winkler Construction will be completing those concrete repairs. And then paving is obviously 2026, early in 2026. Tonight for approval is EC Steel pay application number 4. This is for $184,335.70. It would include all the lining that they've completed so far. So I'd ask for approval of that pay application. I'll stand for any questions as well.
So moved.
Motion by Weidrich.
Second.
Second by Folkerts. Discussion. Roll call.
Weidrich.
Aye.
Folkerts.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye. Motion carried.
Okay, and then just a few general miscellaneous items. The main one on there is the flex fund. We're submitting those applications, or that application to you guys. So Monty worked on some letters of support. We have all that packaged up, and we'll get that submitted before the deadline of Friday. Then another thing is the League of Cities. That is this week, Wednesday through Friday. Wednesday night, we're hosting a social. That one is at the Loop in Bismarck. If anyone's around, I don't know who's all attending the conference, but even if you're in town or around, we will have a social at 6 o'clock at the Loop. I think it goes till 10 or something, but you can stop by whenever for food and drinks, say hi, even if you're in town. So feel free to stop by. If you're attending the conference, we have a booth there. good conference. You're gonna learn a lot. So if you have any questions on that, get a hold of Jared or I do. So anything else tonight for me?
We're getting no's, Grant, so
Okay. Good. Pretty short update this week, but we're working on a couple things for you guys, and we'll get those to you in some upcoming meetings.
sounds good.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for calling in, Grant. Monty Shire. Did you hang up, Grant?
He hung up already. It's all
Okay, it's off.
I'm still here.
Oh,
He just muted himself. So
okay, gotcha. All right, moving on to 6A, Chalk Fest update report.
I already told him I was just your second, so I'm here for more. So, we're just here to briefly talk to you about how Chalk Fest went this year. Just first want to say thank you to the city for your support and all the help you give us. And it turned out this year that, especially given the circumstances with Jerry Obenauer's passing and the opportunity to create a portrait, that being able to be open through the weekend really was fantastic for the community and for the family and for people who came to the funeral on Friday. And so we were really, it just worked out really well. And I think without that, people still would have wanted to be at the festival through the weekend. So thank you for that. We appreciated that very much. We thank you, Dave, for everything you do to help. A great deal. And also the park board, they're not here, but they are really helpful also. And so this year, I don't know, I hope all you guys made it down there. We set up 3 tents this year, so we really used the maximum. If we'd have been under any sort of ordinance, I think we would have exceeded our square footage of structure on that property, but we used every bit of it. And we had a kids activities tent, we had the main tent, and then we set up this year a new vendor tent. And that was really fun. It was fun for people to have an additional thing to do. And so we were really, really happy with how all that turned out. The first day we did not know where all those people came from. We just could not believe all the people who were at the festival Wednesday. And so we just felt that it was really a great success. And so just wanted to tell you about that. Thank you for that. And I think Marty might have.
Yeah, I just have a few things. We keep track. Before I came in with some stats that I had a contact that was giving me stats. I don't think my contact is there anymore, so to have post-event stats this time, I guess I should just feel lucky for getting the stats that I did for the first couple of years, but I'm still going to try to work on getting the stats for this year, because like Lauren said, that first day was incredible. Usually Thursday is our big day. This year, Wednesday was our big day. So a couple of things, and a couple of the few little things that we did. One, we had a "Where Are You From" poster or sign, map of North Dakota plus the states. And so we had 21 states represented. That is, I saw grandparents bringing grandkids in that were from different states, people who specifically had their family come this time of year because of Chalk Fest, and so I think that's where a lot of that comes from. But on our state map, something from last year to this year. Last year we had 45 different communities represented by sticks on the map over the whole period of time. This year we had 60 different communities, so that's our spread is getting more so. By being open those extra days, I had heard from actually from Dan, who had heard from one of the police officers, I guess, that there was a tour bus, an international tour bus that came through on Friday that I'm guessing found it on the North Dakota Tourism website and decided to come on through and walk through. So, things like that we don't have counts on, but we can successfully say we had international visitors coming in. But the other thing too is we had a kids drawing, and so a lot of the kids would sign up for that daily drawing. And what we can ascertain by some of those entries, or by those entries, is where kids were coming from, where families were coming from. And Hazen attendees were about 35% of that, out of Hazen attendees were 65% of that, compared to last year, which Hazen attendees were 47.5%, all other attendees were 52.5%. So again, you know, while this is just taking a small sampling of what's coming in, it's also showing that the spread outside our community is just getting bigger and bigger. Tourism, people coming into this community, they know about Chalk Fest and they're coming in. So again, thank you, like Lauren said, for keeping those streets open a couple extra days, because every time I came down, I was down here about 2 to 3 times every day just watching, and every time somebody was down here, even on a Sunday, people were here. So it was really nice. Thank you, we appreciate that, because this is such a big event, because sometimes we don't realize the scope of it, but it's there, that scope is there, and we are just bringing in people from outside the community in addition to our own community.
One thing I just wanted to talk about too, we talked about, I don't know if you guys are still planning to look into that handicap access off the street into the park. We talked about that a little bit. So this year we just borrowed that little ramp that the football field people have, and we used that and we put it kind of right in front of the main shelter there. And that would be different than what you would do. You'd open up the boulevard and bring it right up the boulevard. So this was protruding out into the street, but it did get used.
It did get used.
It really did get used, and so, you know, we didn't move it around. It was, you know, wasn't easy to do that, but where we did have it was really, you know, really useful. And of course, it wasn't a drop-off site because people couldn't come onto the street to drop off. So what you would be creating would be a year-round access and a drop-off. So I just thought I'd let you know that we did see people using it. So.
Usually that's part of our reviews that come in after the fact is the handicap access and the mobility access of people. It's just very difficult, and that's something that we didn't hear this year on our reviews, so I consider that a success, and I think that had a lot to do with that ramp. So whatever you guys decide to do with that down there, I think it would be well used and well warranted.
Something we probably should talk about over the next year is where we're going to get all these people to park. I mean, it was, the neighborhood is really, you know, nobody complains and everybody puts up with all the cars and traffic around, but it gets to be a lot of people parking. And so, I don't know, we talked about maybe using the school and running a people mover or some other method to kind of help ease up the congestion right down here.
I know we talked, was that last meeting? Right out here at the corner, maybe moving it over because there was traffic congestion and close calls.
2 meetings ago.
Was it 2 meetings ago?
Moving it forward more closer this way?
Well, yeah, blocking it off because it caused a little bit, I mean, that's topic of discussion, but.
Yeah, maybe we should talk about that. So, anyway, we don't really have anything else that I know of, but any questions or concerns or anything that you guys want to talk about while we're here? I don't know who's on the library, is that you? So we did have a little issue with bikes being parked by the library, and the librarian did ask us to try to find these kids, which is like, what? But we did put an announcement out to the kids to get their bikes away. She was concerned about them blocking her handicap ramp. So we just grabbed a quick photo.
Yeah.
You know, and if you want to pass that along, feel free. I think the kids were trying to do the right thing. They don't want to throw them out on the grass, and
They are.
you know, and we don't have a bike rack around, and maybe that's something that might be helpful. So, I mean, yeah.
She may seem uptight about some of that stuff, but a lot of it, she's under a microscope when it comes to abiding by the guidelines and stuff like that with the ADA accessible stuff at the state library and all that stuff. So she's under an intense amount of pressure to maintain all of that.
Right.
And so that's why she may seem overcritical about some of that
And it was okay. But maybe next year we'll just put a sign up that no bike parking.
You know, something
like that.
Yeah, that'd be,
But anyway,
it's all
that
something
was
that can be figured out.
just the only thing that really came up during the festival.
How'd the internet work over there for you guys?
Pardon me?
How did the internet work over there for you guys?
I didn't have any complaints as far as like with the vendors, because they were running credit card machines and things like that, and I didn't hear any
Yeah,
complaints.
it worked for us. We have a little store down there, and it was great.
Perfect.
It's public, so nobody needs a password. No, it worked out great.
Yeah.
Everything did, thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Good work.
okay.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. 7A, corrections to the golf cart ordinance. Monty, you found some
Yep,
grammar errors or what have you?
yeah, well, like here in section 10, we just basically doubled up on unlawful. This just said with the city, within the city, just minor grammar errors that were discovered afterwards. This was who has obtained a valid driver's license, well, it should be who has not obtained a valid driver's
Right.
license. So, in visiting with Attorney Caper, he said a simple motion was sufficient to approve these since we weren't changing any part of the language in the ordinance.
So this will be the second reading, correct?
There is no second reading, we've already approved the
It's already
ordinance.
approved, just,
okay.
just a motion
Just
to
a-
change.
Just a motion
Yeah.
to approve these couple of
Gotcha.
changes.
So moved.
Motion by Weidrich,
Second.
second by Folkerts. Discussion. Do you want a roll call on that, Monty?
Please,
Okay.
Weidrich.
Aye.
Folkerts.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye. Motion carried. Is that the one, Monty? Sorry to. Was that the one that was posted on the Facebook page
Yes,
with the correction?
not with the corrections yet, no.
Okay.
Maybe we should do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll repost it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, move along, 8A, purchase agreement, water plants.
Received a purchase agreement from Ron Knudsen regarding the water plant structure. I shared Attorney Donovan's concerns with you, so I guess I would let him explain the concerns he has.
Well, the agreement is pretty much a boilerplate type of agreement that is used for residential properties. Usually, commercial properties have a little bit different type of agreement. The suggestions that I made dealt with, my impression is that what the offering purchase price is very low, especially from where you started from, which I thought was pretty reasonable or low also, but that's just personal, it doesn't have anything to do with it. But if the city doesn't typically get abstracts for properties that you own, and those can be very expensive to create. And in this case, the proposed agreement includes a provision that requires you to provide an abstract or title insurance. Well, the law in North Dakota says you can only issue title insurance if it's based on an abstract-based title opinion. So that doubles the layer of expenses instead of helping you out. I thought those provisions should be eliminated because they don't provide you any benefit at all. It's all for the buyer's benefit. And the condition of the building and the chemicals that were used in it, whether there's asbestos in it, I don't know if anybody knows those things. I don't know if I was ever inspected for those. I'd rather see the building sold as is. They could do an inspection or they can provide their own inspector if they want to. But in the listing of all of the seller's obligations, which is quite extensive and very favorable towards the buyer, I just don't see the need for all that language, and
Right.
they just take it as is, and
Well,
that
if you-
50-some thousand, if that's all they're gonna offer, I mean,
If you actually read through it, it's void already, right there. Acceptance and deadline September 5th.
yeah,
Where
it's
it's
just already
15th, so it's
passed.
already void.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah. Of course, any agreement, you know, if you both still agree to it, it's effectively amended that date, but I don't know where the buyer's at with this right now, since you are past it by 10 days, so. Those were some suggestions I made, and
Monty, my question to that was that, it almost sounded to me, as I skimmed it, it was a residential purchase agreement, not a, like you said, not a commercial, but a residential agreement. I mean, that come from, I'm assuming the realtor?
No,
Oh, it didn't?
no,
Okay.
it came from the buyer.
Oh, got it.
What's his intent with it? Maybe I skipped past it, but what's,
Fireworks.
oh, it's that guy, okay.
Hazen.
That guy, okay, I was wondering.
I have no idea what his intentions are.
True, he doesn't state it in there.
Sure, but that's who that is, okay.
But it is also $100,000 less than we are asking. Plus, he's asking for a lot of stuff that isn't really needed. An abstract is not needed. There's lots of places that get sold without abstracts.
well, all of your, as far as I know, Monty could verify whether all the properties that have been returned to the city for tax forfeiture. I don't know if you ever got any abstracts on any of those.
So my wife works in the mortgage side of things, and she said it's actually more common now not to have an abstract than to have an abstract. It's, I wouldn't say more common, but it's trending that way.
Well, in platted cities, it's definitely a trend. Yeah, once they've got one abstract title opinion that they can then build on, they don't require updating abstracts and any further. They just do a record search and do the same searches that are contained in an abstract themselves.
Can I ask a question? Was that property ever shown by the realtor? Because if it was, you may be also obligated for a commission, so that's something you need to.
And it's 50%. It depends on if they stuck it into closing costs or not. We
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
I just want you to be aware that that's a possibility.
Our listing agreement has expired, so
But if she ever showed it, it's usually 6 months after that to these people,
from when she showed it.
from when it expired, I think. But I'm not sure, Pat, answer that question. I don't know.
I don't know what the.
But I know that, well, look at your listing agreement and see what it says, but that, there, I've seen people get hooked on that, because I worked in mortgage lending too. So just a little bit of a.
Well, I mean, you could raise all kinds of issues here if you choose to. You could raise, if this buyer sells within a certain time period, that there's some limitations or restrictions on that. But I guess I was just trying to go for the bare bones review of this purchase agreement.
Makes sense.
I don't know how the rest of the board feels, but I feel like it's a lowball offer. And it doesn't state what it's gonna be used for in there. They didn't show up to the meeting, so I'd assume it's for fireworks. That's the industry he's in. I'd much rather hold on to it and wait for maybe a business that's gonna be like active there year round instead of 2 weeks out of the year and basically have an empty building sitting there, especially with the low ball offer.
Yeah, assuming this is the fireworks guy, like, I can only imagine, I'm just assuming here, it's speculation, but just based on the experience with these guys, probably just through the same boilerplate template of a purchase agreement like he does with anybody else that he ends up purchasing properties from. Didn't actually take it seriously with the city. Once again, if this is all the case where he's just trying to purchase the property for the fireworks, but yeah, I agree with you. I don't, on top of the fact that it was really
So as I'm hearing comment, what are the wishes of the board? Do we need a motion to decline this, Monty?
Either a motion to decline or accept that you vote down.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase.
Motion by Weidrich.
Second.
Second by Stern. Discussion. Hearing no discussion. Roll call.
Weidrich,
No.
Stern,
No.
Folkerts,
No.
Hack.
No. Motion dies. Excuse me. Did I say that right? Fails, excuse me. Dies, fails. Fails, same thing. Dies is kind of a little, dies is a little bit harsh. Fails is better. Sorry.
Pass away.
Okay, moving along. 8B, real estate option to purchase lot 32, block 2, north. Sure. Go ahead.
This would be 1121 Deopolis Drive, north of Divide Street. Be this single lot here. The numbers I presented to the proposed buyer is based on the half, or 50% of the assessed land value that we had talked about several months ago. Average lot in this area is going at $1.78 per square foot for the land, so this is based on an 89 cent per square foot. Total purchase price would be $76.62 plus $2.90 for legal fees, and then they would assume the special assessments of $51.66.23 is what the special assessments were. I must have screwed it up on here, but, or it isn't showing, but. So that's the proposed purchase agreement. In visiting with the prospective buyer, he is intending to put a single family dwelling on this lot.
Can you go back up to that map with that overhead, Monty?
So it's currently owned by the city?
Yes, it is.
Pat, this might be a question for you. Is it possible to add a contingency of a build date on it? Because it was about 2 years ago, we sold a few lots up on, I want to say,
Elbowwoods.
Elbowwoods, was that up
Yep.
there?
Yeah.
And now all 3 of those lots are back up for sale for more than they were purchased for. No building was done on them. You know, kind of like back when the
Yeah.
dollar lots were a thing, I believe they had a year
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to build. Is it possible to
Do it.
still do something like that?
Incredible. Well, I'm uncertain, to tell you the truth, because, you know, you've already sold other lots
Right.
without that restriction. But it doesn't mean that you're forever locked into that, but,
Yeah. The only reason I bring that up is I just
Yeah.
don't like people buying them up, sitting on them for a year, and then relisting them trying to profit money. You know, part of the reason we offer these lots probably less than they're actually truly valued as, we're hoping people build and move to this community. Not for investment people to buy them up just to try to resell.
right, yeah. I'd have to take a look to see. It's not a statutory thing, it's more of a, there might be something in the procedures that have been established by the commission. And like I said, I don't think you're locked into those past laws, but it's a method, I mean, the manner of when do you change them? I mean, do you do it, you know, when this first request comes up, and then from this point forward, that's how you'll treating them, or are there some other alternatives, changing your pricing?
Yeah.
Or,
I know there was specific language on the dollar lots that they
Yeah.
had to be done, that was in the ordinance, but there is nothing on these that has been established.
certainly, you could delay, I imagine, your decision making if you choose. Is there a timeline that the buyer is, or the proposed buyer is putting in?
Well, he didn't put a specific timeline, but he wanted to try and get it resolved as quickly as possible.
Sure.
You don't own the, I guess, lot then on the north side, Monty, right? That's not ours, is it?
No, that is not.
So, yeah, so too and stuff, you know, if we do get rid of this lot and stuff, you know, now and stuff, a special assessment that's not gonna be on us anymore, so.
That's true,
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Yeah.
that's true.
Are those structures on there?
Yeah, I was gonna.
No,
Look like
there's
trailers.
trailers.
Oh, and.
At the time this was taken anyway.
Are any of the utilities connected to the other lot?
No,
Who's been mowing it? Has the city been mowing it, or?
I believe the neighbor has.
Well, that was nice of them.
Yeah. You said the specials were like
5,600.
5,600, okay. I totally heard you wrong.
So 50.
So those gotta be paid up front, or they just get assessed, just like
He
normal?
would just don't take on the assessment as it's.
What are the wishes of the board?
I mean, I like where you're at, Dustin, with the fact of, like, the intent behind purchasing it, it should be the intent of building on it, right? But, because it could potentially stagnate everything up there and ultimately block anybody from coming in to build.
Well, that's the one thing I look at, there's not a whole lot of city lots available anymore. You know, there's lots available that are privately owned being trying to sold.
Right.
Some of them I think are a little steep on their price, but we have zero control over that. That's,
And the next
I
question is,
also understand that if we do sell it, then we start getting tax purposes off of it. The special assessment is off of our burden too. So it's kind of a weigh your options type of deal.
have any of, I wonder if any of these privately sold properties have actually been moving? Does anybody know?
That one on Elbowwood's across from James's, that sold not too terribly long ago. They were right there.
Yeah. Actually, all three of
All
these
three of those
sold, and there is a house being constructed there.
They're building a house there, and that was probably just this spring that sold.
Yes.
Because ultimately, as long as it's people building on them and bringing families in and whatnot, I like that, but.
The ones farther up on Elbowwoods that we sold like 2 years ago, those are still for sale the last time I was up there.
Just a comment, if I may.
Okay.
You know, if we put reservations on loading these lots and stuff like that, it may put the wrong kind of message out on the street as well. When people are coming up to the region looking for a place to buy in, and they say, well, don't go to Hazen because they won't sell you a lot, you know, it's just how people might construe the action if you were to decide. And really, it's the American way, you know. If I want to buy something and then put a little bit of elbow grease into it, make it look nice or whatever, and turn around and sell it for a profit and stuff like that. I understand the city's not going to sell it for market price, but there are those inherent benefits of unloading it off of the specials, taking it off the tax base, starting to get some tax base coming in on it, and then also the availability and saying to the people out there that are looking for a place to come live, well, you know, if you go to Hazen, they still have a few city lots there and they give you a pretty good deal on them. It's just food for thought.
Can I piggyback?
Yep, go ahead and answer it.
And as a promoter for our city and tourism and Chamber of Commerce, that's the number one thing, is we need places to live. And it can't be any worse than what we see in some of the other lots. I'm just saying, this would be a good thing, and one less thing for you guys to worry about. And we need lots where people can come and move. We don't have the housing, we have such an issue. And it's one of the things that Myra and I hear is there's just no place to go. But you guys are the experts, you do what you need to do. It would be a good thing.
What are the wishes of the board?
I'll make a motion to approve the sale of the lot for, what was that price again?
$76.62.
$76.62.
Motion by Folkerts,
Second.
second by Stern. Discussion. Roll call.
Folkerts,
Aye.
Stern,
Aye.
Weidrich,
Aye.
Hack.
Aye, motion carried. Looks like we're down to reports. 9A, water, sewer, garbage.
So anyway, there's a resident, I guess, that was wondering about even about the, I guess, even about, I guess, recycling, I guess, aluminum cans. You know, and they did also, you know, to, I guess, you know, it's volunteer. Volunteer, I guess, their time as well, you know, that if we're gonna do something like this. You know, if we're gonna have a deal up on Main Street or something. This has been brought up in the past, you know, I know it's just not even a feasible, I guess, thing here, but
I
I
like
don't know
where
if you
they're
got any
going.
ideas, but.
I like where they're going with it, but I also don't think it's feasible. And if you do put a can up there that, you know, says aluminum cans only, you're always gonna find trash in it. So who's gonna be the ones always digging through it, sorting that out, you know?
Dave.
I know the Lions have their trailer out of our tree site, and that they do a pretty well, or pretty good job of recycling cans or whatever. I mean, people drop them off there. That is used, you know, something on Main Street we kind of maybe take away a little bit from the Lions projects.
Wasn't there a recycling thing way back in the day behind?
Yep.
Nick Johnson.
Yep, Nick and Elaine Johnson.
Gotcha.
And the lumberyard. I don't know how many people actually know, well, anybody that cuts branches and goes to the tree dump should.
Well, it looks like a junked trailer, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I forgot that it was used
It
for
does.
that,
It does.
yeah. And I know
I
the one
agree
here.
with you, Jesse. I didn't even know it either.
Yeah, I totally spaced that out now that you mentioned it, because it was tipped over one storm, I called out there. And I get out, yeah, full of cans, yeah.
Where was it before?
On the other side.
Maybe someone wants to approach the Lions in terms of,
Yeah.
you know, maybe the city would allow either that trailer or some other repository to be set up over by the shop or behind City Hall here, or someplace that's maybe a little bit more convenient and visible. Because like you said, unless you're going out there and taking branches and stuff like that, you may not be aware of the trailer out there that the Lions have.
Well, I know that it's pretty faded and it doesn't say. You gotta look hard to see the Lions Club on it.
Yeah.
Is Doug kinda still? Who's the,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm on it. Sharon is the president now, and Doug is still involved, but I can certainly also bring this up with
Yeah.
Lions.
Well,
If you-
easy.
Then you're killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
You're not taking
Right.
away from their potential.
right,
Because I was gonna say, I kind of missed, you were suggesting if they set up another one that's more visible, it'll be a Lions
Right.
trailer.
Yep. But Lions, since we're already facilitating the recycling program, maybe there's an opportunity to either set up a second location or come up with an alternative to that trailer that's more aesthetically pleasing in town, or, you know, something.
I have to say, as a Lions member myself, I've been out there a couple times with that project. Yeah, it is kind of laughable trailer.
so do you think, Dan, you would be able to bring something to the table?
I'll at least discuss it with the club and can let you guys know if we're open to it collectively. So.
I would be in favor of that because,
Yeah.
I mean, we're still supporting the Lions of Hazen and we're not taking away, you know.
And the citizens who want
And the
that.
citizens.
Sounds like a win-win-win to me.
Yeah, okay. Anything else, Casey?
Nope. Just-
All right. 9B, streets, cemetery. Dave, are we in the process of cleaning or is that all done with cemetery?
We're gonna start that here now, this week,
Yeah.
tomorrow, start with that. We're off sweeping today or whatever, so we're starting our fall activities and getting equipment ready for winter.
Okay. Anything else out of the ordinary? Okay. And I got nothing else, Monty, not unless you do on your end. from-
Nothing.
Okay. Oh, 9C, yep, finance, busing, library.
So,
Quote there from Hazen Motors.
oh, is that what this is for? Okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was staring at it, I'm like, why should I know this? I know this.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like the AC went out,
Yeah.
just in the last
The
couple.
compressor on 2013,
Okay.
the bus the state owns.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Tim fix it. It's their boss.
No, it's our bus.
Not anymore.
Oh,
We bought it.
the one we bought. Got you. Yeah.
No, it's still the federally funded bus, but we have to use it for everything that isn't school.
Yeah.
So it looks like, yeah, the AC compressor, Hazen Motor gave us a quote, and it looks like to get all that fixed, we're looking at, so it's the 1388.37 right now, okay. Yeah, the $1,388.37. So I will first off make a motion to approve these repairs for that. Take a look at it.
Motion by Folkerts
Casey?
and second by Weidrich on the compressor for the 2013, right, Monty? Bus?
Yes. Yes.
Motion and a second. Roll call.
Folkerts,
All right.
Weidrich,
Huh?
Discussion?
Oh, sorry, discussion.
Can we get that under the 50/50 then?
yes.
Perfect.
Anything should run under the 50/50. Should be, because it's maintenance, right, Monty?
Correct.
Sorry.
Operating, yeah.
All right, roll call.
Folkerts,
All right.
Weidrich,
Aye.
Stern,
All right.
Hack,
Aye, motion carried.
And then I got a notice of resignation from Tammy. She had a change of mind in regards to acquiring her CDL. So she feels the board really wants the director to have their CDL, which, yeah. So she sent me her resignation on that 5 days ago, Monty, roughly.
yeah.
So we'll be opening that back up. Short of that, Monty, you got anything for finance for?
No, I have enough.
And that is all I have.
All right. 9D, police, fire, forestry.
Fire department, get some run reports. So this is part of August and the first part of September. We got a CO alarm on the 25th. Garbage fire at the landfill on the 28th. And a structure / grass fire on the 3rd. Pretty slow month, which is good.
Is that one at all working?
I don't remember. I don't think.
Structure and grass.
Yeah, it probably was. Yeah, it probably was. It was past the pavement, so yeah, it would have been all over county. But our fire district does.
Yeah, it extends out there.
Extends in all over county. Then I got some calls to service for the police department. Ronnie had 15. Officer Anthony Malberg had 40. Officer Samantha Malberg had 72. And Chief Wolf had 39. Did you find a printer yet, Jim?
No, I talked to the other guys. We don't want the vehicle. We need to get rid of it. We started it. Sounds like the engine mount broke off and the engine was gonna take off like an airplane. So it's gonna nickel and dime us. And we do have written tickets we could write. They sent me some from the state, so the print is not an issue, but the way that thing's running now, the Cadillac converter's out, if I remember right, from Hazen Motors, so. Tony and Sam, I didn't talk to Ronnie, but 3 of us, yeah. We decided that we should just get rid of it. So how do you want to go about that?
Monty, is there any recommendations through the state or surplus, or I don't know if there's any help or direction with that to get rid of that vehicle? Or we just put it out for bids?
We just advertise them and put them out for bids. Sell them as is.
Jeff, can we send it to surplus city?
Say what?
Can we send it down to surplus? Do they do vehicles?
They just dabble with the state and stuff, yeah. But who knows, if you gave them a call, they might be able to at least give you some tips, maybe. There's plenty of smaller agencies out there who don't have a pot to pee in that would love to take someone up on a good offer.
We did get a printer, we need a computer, and we need a bunch of other stuff in. So we just, and the way it's been running, starting it up just to keep the battery charged.
It's kind of funny that just sitting there, something seems to have happened to it. Kind of like when we brought it, it was almost undrivable. And then here was like hardly anything wrong with it, but it was undrivable. You know, wasn't there a shock out and some CV shafts, but it was undrivable? Seems a little fishy.
I don't know, but you more than welcome to go start it if you want and see what you think, but.
Only reason I was thinking of running 3 of them, since we ran that Tahoe as a sole vehicle for how many months, we racked up the miles on that. If we ran 3 of them, it would prolong the replacement of that one. Especially we did get the Expedition fairly cheap. You know, but you do make sense, and we would need another computer. Probably have to get another rifle and a shotgun and some more gear in there.
Knockout tools and spikes and first aid bags. I don't think it's worth any of those tons of sand.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's probably not worth stocking it up.
Unless you just want to keep in case one vehicle goes down. Yeah.
No, because then you fight the battle of always trying to keep the battery charged when you need it. Doesn't run, then you gotta get somebody over there. You could put a battery tender on it. Unless Dave needs another vehicle for running around town.
He wants to get rid of this one too.
Do you need a motion to put that up for sale?
Would be best, yeah.
I'll make a motion to put the expedition police vehicle up for silent auction.
Do you want to do silent, or do you want me to advertise them on the list or first in case there's other agencies that may want it?
That'd be
I
great.
actually, I go that route.
Yeah, we can see if we get any interest there and then still.
Is that as is?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Motion by Weidrich,
Second.
second by Stern. Discussion.
Sorry, I was jumping ahead of the game.
No, you're
So as is with the equipment that's in it, still light bar and, what's all the name?
We would have to take the radio out, 'cause
That was borrowed.
Did they get
Gotcha.
that radio put in? Did they get that radio put
the
in?
old one, yeah, then you get a new one.
So it's just, so it's got lights,
Yeah, everything but the radio. Radar's in there,
radar too? Okay.
page.
Yep.
So just the radios are ours is what I'm hearing?
Well, the
That is
radio
radio,
isn't even ours,
electronic
it's Dakota
communications.
Comms.
Yeah,
We're
and
borrowing
electronic
it.
communications.
That's the only thing that we need to pull out of it then, right? Jim?
And pull the decars off, and that's no big thing. He can take care of that.
You can, or sell it as is, the agency or whoever ends up buying it can take it off too.
Yeah, you can just put a
Because that's
contingency
a
on
pain
there
in the
that
butt.
they have to remove it, can't you?
Well, yeah, I can't drive it around anyways, it's impersonating, so.
That's probably a big one.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not a big, we're lucky word, it's not really a big deal if we don't take one off.
70-year-old kid will have
All right, we got a motion and a second on the floor. Roll call.
Weidrich.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Folkerts.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye, motion carried. Anything else?
No, but I'm gonna go back to yours. Never mind. No, I'm not.
What just happened?
I was thinking of the loader too, if we wanted to make a motion to put that up for sale, but we don't have our new one yet, so we
Yeah.
should probably wait until we get our new one.
winter sets.
Jeez, Dustin, they're just gonna start selling everything. Anybody wanna buy this chair real quick? Jeez. I got a flipboard to sell you.
This more comfortable in my home.
Anything else?
Casey's always in the buying.
Oh, I know that. Who do you think's gonna resell this expedition?
Anything else, Dustin?
I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else, Jim?
Can't think of anything offhand.
Myra, HCD.
The Waterworks building before Harvest Fest, I looked at that and said, we want to market this building, we better get the weeds pulled. So I went over and pulled the weeds, but then it didn't look so good. So I asked Dave if he could have somebody rake up the bark, and he did it. And if you have driven by, that building looks pretty nice up front now, so thanks to Dave. And then Dave, again, brought to my attention that we had a water shut-off valve, I believe, that's sticking up over by the Pioneer Park Apartments, and Dave and Monty, I think, did you help with that too? I think you did, Dave?
Yep.
Got some estimates, and Monty just told me that the engineers are recommending that we not mud jack, that replacing some of the sidewalk. And then I don't think you have to pull up or push down the takeoff, the shut-off valve. I think they'll level it out. And that estimate came in at $3,900. I did ask the board, the housing authority, to approve that last time, or the Pioneer Park board, but I will email them to make sure they don't want to vote on this again. But then Meisner Contracting said he could sneak in a little job like this before winter. And I really think it needs to be done. I thank Dave for telling me about that. We probably don't walk around that building often enough, all the way around the perimeter. Might have to ask someone to do that more often. But anyway, that should get done. That's a liability to us, not the city's job to pay for it, but just bringing it to your attention. And then, let's see, we got some good ideas from Dustin today, talking about Market in Hazen and
Speaking of Meisner
Yeah.
Construction, he's right there.
You're not allowed in here.
I talked to Scott, he called me a couple hours ago. I just threw a bid together quick for concrete over by the baseball field. He said you guys got a meeting at 7:30 tonight.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
Park Board.
Yep, there's that,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
It's okay.
So, I've said it before here, we need to market Hazen better. And I really appreciate any input. There's some things I wasn't aware of. So I just need to get myself in gear and get that done. Monty has agreed to let me put an extra button on our Hazen website so that we can connect it. And all of those things need to be done. I have to mull things around in my head for a while so they don't look stupid when we put them up there. But Monty can make them look good, I'm sure. Right, Monty? Okay. There isn't just a little update on Expedition Estates up there. There's no work going on right now because apparently Daryl has been sick for a couple of weeks. So it's not that there isn't going to be work, but he's been sick. And then we had a housing authority meeting a little while ago, and we are just looking at exploring, do we need more apartments in town? So there's a couple sites that were suggested at that meeting. I'm gonna talk to some of the agencies to see if there's anything out there for financing, maybe some of the banks that they're familiar with, any grants or low-income programs. It's gotta be affordable housing, but maybe something a little more upscale than what we have over here with garages. I mean, it would be great. Then we talked about, I think Pat, you recommended it, townhouse versus condominiumizing them. Did you tell me that? Because it's, if for some reason they didn't rent, they could be sold. So I said we might as well dream big and then come down to reality. So that's kind of where we're at with that. That's gonna take a long time, but nevertheless, I think we need to look at it. If we want people to live here, we have to provide some housing. And if you have input on that, please stop, talk to me. I'll pass it on to the board.
So this is just peace of mind, the Pioneer.
I think so.
No, the city's share would be for the curb and gutter, the $1,800, so you
I guess I
should.
didn't realize that. I'm sorry, Monkey. I thought it was all our bill.
1,500.
I would have just had them pay everything. I apologize.
Sorry about that.
So 2,100 is the
Is for
housing
housing.
authority.
Okay, that's why it's broken down that way. I just assumed that was a
Yeah.
Monty thing.
I assumed it was just all ours.
So moved.
Motion by Weidrich,
Second.
second by Stern. Discussion.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Hear no discussion? Roll call.
Weidrich.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Folkerts.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye. Motion carried.
Good catch.
Anything else, Myra?
No, thank you for, like I said, I was all.
Okay. All right, nothing under F, Monty, for, nope, okay. Moving down to 12A, holiday policy, Monty.
Just said I was approached by the police department's staff regarding the holiday pay. There were some questions as to how their department is handled compared to others, as other departments all get the day off and are paid for that, while the police department was only compensated for holidays if they work. So this policy amended that effective September 1st, so that even if an officer is not scheduled to work on the holiday, they will receive 8 hours of straight time pay, to make it similar to the other departments and other departments in other municipalities as well.
Crap, Monty, I didn't get you that.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, so Monty
Sorry.
passed this on to me a while ago when we compared the city's policy versus the police department's policy. And there was a provision in there that they could get it, so they would end up getting a different day off. But it had to be within that 7-day window, and it could not be overtime. That's about impossible on our police department to make that work within that 7-day window. So even though they had something in place to do it differently, it was almost next to impossible. You know, because you always have two people on, so if one takes off, it almost always leads to overtime, you know. So I went round and around to how to best do this, and just paying them the 8 hours holiday pay for that day seems to be the easiest on Jim, on Monty, and on our officers, you know. Instead of trying to juggle schedules around to make it all work, you know, just by far the easiest. And it only technically affects 2 officers, because the other 2 will be working the holiday, already getting the pay for it. So I'd like to make a motion to approve this change.
Motion by Weidrich,
Second.
second by Folkerts. Discussion. Casey?
So is this then, I guess, 12-hour pay? Or
8 hour.
8 hour pay.
Just like the rest of them, an 8 hour pay, even though they're scheduled for.
So it's equal to the city
Yes.
workers, okay.
And it does state in there that, the way our policy is for the police department, I think it's after 42 hours on that. Yeah. So it won't lead to overtime either, like, because it's hours worked, where these are not considered hours worked, so.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was, my head's in the 168 or all the things, okay, 40, yeah, gotcha.
The people that work the holidays, they get the 12 hours.
Correct. They get the 12 hours of double time since they're physically working.
Through the whole.
It just, double time is kind of the wrong word for it.
Yeah, you're just getting the holiday pay.
You get the holiday pay, yeah.
But then also, is that like up till midnight? Like it is commonly, like with us, for instance? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
It's like if you're on at 6.
Say, Sam works from 6 to midnight.
Yeah. Okay.
The next day, when Tony works 18 to,
Yeah.
then it's divided 6 hours.
So they get double time as of during that holiday.
And you can even take the holiday pay, if it's an overtime shift, you can take the overtime, but you can't take both. That's how it's been for years.
Sounds like you got it worked out. Okay, any other discussion?
The working part was not really in question, it was the unworked part, which after Sam kind of brought it up to me, and then Monty did too. Once we started looking into it, it was pretty confusing and about impossible to use it the way it was stated.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, any other discussion? Roll call.
Weidrich,
Aye.
Folkerts,
Aye.
Stern,
Aye.
Hack.
Aye, motion carried. Moving down to 13, public comments.
Yes, I would like to say something. I just want to get a clarification on the whole golf cart thing. Like, what is, because like, there are several golf carts nowadays that have VIN numbers. I mean, registered through the state of North Dakota. I've got insurance on my golf cart. I mean, what, and technically, like, on the registration, it's considered a low-speed vehicle. Like, so I guess what, with the whole golf cart ban or ordinance, I mean, what's considered not legal to drive on the roads, Hazen?
None of them.
Why?
Golf carts aren't legal. We're not banning golf carts from the streets in town. You just are required to have a licensed
See, that's where
driver
I
and
want
insurance.
Clarification, yes, like,
You are exempt from blinkers and brake lights and tail lights and registration.
so it's just a golf cart that's not street legal, is not able to
No,
drive?
they are.
As long as it's classified as a low-speed vehicle.
As long as it's classified as a low-speed vehicle, and it has a licensed driver.
Sure, yeah,
And
I understand this.
And liability.
This thing's kind of
minimum.
stemming from these kids running around with
Yes.
these golf carts, and I completely get that. Like, should a 12-year-old kid be cruising around Hazen? Probably not. But 16 with a license, I mean, as long as you're fully insured, registered, I mean, that's where I guess I was confused on it.
Nope, you're good, as long as you have insurance and a licensed driver
Okay,
inside city.
yep. And then, so how's it work then from the golf course? Is like the path still open from Dollar General?
It's never been opened.
Okay.
You cannot drive a golf course.
So if we're taking it to the golf course, we want to be on the highway then?
Technically, no, that's illegal too, because it's a low-speed vehicle. So our hands are tied on that.
Okay.
That is completely through the state. We've tried to get an exemption for that bike path,
Sure.
and they refuse to budge on it.
Okay.
So the way I see it, there's no legal way to drive it to the golf course from,
Yeah.
what is that? Birch.
Yeah, Dollar General.
Ouch.
Is that-
Myra, you got a question?
Can they drive on the grass beside the golf cart?
Technically, no, because
Okay.
they're not an off-road vehicle. They're a low speed. I don't like it,
Yeah,
but we're literally tied by the state.
sure.
Yeah, like Dustin said, we had Monty reach out to the DOT in Dickinson, and it's pretty much got a plate, no.
Okay.
Highly recommend reaching out to your district representatives to try to get that changed.
As far as the golf, the
So,
cart path or
yep, so it
walking
would
path?
have to get changed on a state level. So it'd be contacting Ann Novak or Bill Twain would be our District 33 representatives, or Keith Bain. So they would have to try to change that on a state level.
Sure.
They did just this last session, some exempting those, like blinkers and your registration and stuff. They did just change that. So technically, before that, you would have had to have all that stuff.
And that's what's leading to this confusion.
Yeah, it is. And now they exempt that. So we're able to put this policy in place
Yep.
stating
Which-
that too.
So it's just,
Most of them nowadays do have all the headlights
They
and
do.
blinkers.
and this is just a coincidental thing that,
Yeah.
that the state, the legislator had just passed this new thing with, you know, allowing these golf carts and stuff to be driven on the roads legally in cities if they want that.
Yep.
If they want to adopt the ordinance like we did. It just happened to coincide with all these issues we've been running into with the unlicensed drivers
Yep.
and minors driving around. The thing is previous to the legislature passing this, lower jurisdictions can only be more restrictive. You can't be less restrictive than the state law. Okay, so that's what ended up happening there is just
And then,
one thing coincided with the other.
and then the ordinance we passed is pretty much similar to what we followed with dirt bikes for years. One path out and back in.
Actually, no.
No, you can just straight up drive a golf cart as long as it's
I thought
all.
I thought we had that. Nope, my bad.
I mean, you can run to the grocery store if you want.
Yeah.
You gotta stay on the street.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to know.
Can
Because I
ride
mean, my
on
kids would be
sidewalks.
heartbroken if
and
they can't go cruise around on the golf cart with me anymore.
And my father-in-law would be.
And I know I had one resident.
But you gotta keep them off the highway.
Yes.
Does he go on the highway?
I have seen them on the highway with us. Not very often.
Sorry.
Okay, I think that clears everything up on my end or whatever. but-
So the citizen that talked to me the other night, talked to them,
Citizen that talked to you.
Nick.
Oh,
Nicholson.
I was,
Yeah.
I was
That
probably,
wasn't the same.
I was probably in the garage with
It would have
him.
been. So,
But yeah, we didn't ban them. I
No.
know there were some people mad thinking we banned them.
Sure.
We actually made it less
Yeah,
restrictive.
we opened it up because of the state allowed, basically just, it was a coincidence that our
Yeah.
issues with the golf carts just happened to happen at the same time that the legislator. had this session.
Maybe the wording, whatever.
And
was
that's the
confusing
case,
and-
yep.
It's in legal terms, so nobody understands.
No one, yes.
Including lawyers.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Myra,
So does that mean next year, when we're planning Harvest Fest, we could have golf carts in the parade with legally?
Yep.
It's on a waiver, so.
And we wouldn't have to arrest Antoinette for driving around?
Oh, no, she's still going to jail.
Yeah, you sure can, as long as it's a licensed driver
I mean, some-
and insured. It has to be,
Right.
have
But the thing I'm looking at is, we have so many fewer floats, but maybe people would be willing to dress up a golf cart,
Yeah.
so we can have a bigger parade.
I did not make Harvest Fest due to outage at
Yeah.
work, but I heard it was the best parade that they've ever seen in Hazen.
Nice.
I've heard
I thought
numerous
it was
comments on
pretty
that.
dang good.
They did
Yeah.
not like the route.
Yeah.
May need to think of that in the next year, but that thought it was probably one of the best parades.
That wasn't your fault.
No,
Yeah, that wasn't
No,
your
yeah,
fault. That was,
no. Yeah,
But
clear as mud.
Clear as mud.
Okay. Any other public comment? Hearing none. Approval of the bills.
I'll make a motion to approve the payment of the bill as presented.
Motion by Folkerts,
Second.
second by Stern. Discussion. Hearing none, roll call.
Folkerts,
Aye.
Stern,
Aye.
Weidrich,
Aye.
Hack.
Aye, motion carried. Meeting adjourned.